So, just how are you deceived into believing that a coach, a program, or a course is right for you? Well, I can tell you this, and I mentioned this in the first video that you watched. You desperately, we all, I believe, desperately want the person that we're talking to have the answer. We desperately want that. Now, unless you're some sort of person that is what I call a serial appointment setter, right? You're looking at all these different programs, you are booking appointments all week long, trying to talk to these people. And generally what happens is you get tired of talking to people, right? And so you try and justify some sort of purchase that you're going to make based on what you think is logic. But I can tell you this, being someone in sales and marketing for over 30 years now, we want to believe that we make decisions out of logic. But you do make decisions out of feeling. You do make decisions out of emotion. We are emotional beings. And I don't care who you are, even if you say you're a numbers person, right? So there's all these factors that go into this, but the main thing is that you desperately want to believe that someone that you're talking to has the answer. And you have some sort of insecurity around your own abilities. You might think of yourself as someone that, okay, I can't figure this out, so maybe I'm not smart. That's just not true, right? But that insecurity that you may feel around all of these things should lead you to find the truth. And there's a way that we can do that. And so we've got to get beyond this thinking that, one, we're smarter than we think we are. All right, because that's a cause of being scammed as well. And also stop believing that you are the most logical person in the world, because many times you're just not. We make decisions, and if you're in any sort of business or if you've taken sales and marketing courses, you realize that people buy based on emotion and they justify that with logic. It's not the other way around. And so you are in a situation where you're vulnerable to making a mistake. And this is why scams are so prevalent with this. Even in my next video, what I want to show you is that overarching outline of how you're being manipulated, because we're going to take a deep dive into that. But here's the thing. If you constantly believe that a person has an answer based on a conversation with no proof, you're deceiving yourself. And the manipulation in this area and around this is real. Because if you can't talk to someone that has worked with a particular coach, program, or course, or whatever, if you can't have a legitimate conversation with someone that has already gone through it or is going through it and can literally talk to you about the results, that is probably the best way to have any of your insecurities or fears alleviated around what you're about to do. Because many times there's something, you know how you say that little thing, something told me I shouldn't have done that. Okay, that was you, right? That was your gut. And your gut should be trusted, especially if you have certain pieces of evidence to support that feeling. We all have a BS detector in us. I know I do, and I'm sure just all of you have, or you in particular, have a BS detector. And when something doesn't seem quite right, believe me, that's your gut, that's your emotion, that is all of that trying to ring alarm bells, letting you know that something is not right. It may be the tone of the person's voice is off. It may be you have this sense of she's not really saying everything here. There's some alarm bell that goes off when you do that. So you've got to trust your gut. And the way that you can trust your gut on an emotion level and then justify that with logic is that you talk to someone that's in the program already, right? Not having enough knowledge on how a coaching program or course will actually help you, it's not the right way to go. And how do you get that? I mean, we all, like all of us, I mean, we get Amazon boxes delivered, right? So for whatever reason that you made that purchase on Amazon, it was that you had the knowledge that this is what you wanted, whether you looked at reviews or whether you watched videos on a certain product or something, but you've done some sort of investigation to see if you actually really want this. Now, obviously, all of us make purchases as well. Well, I'm just going to try this out and see if it works. But you're not paying $5K to figure it out, right? You're not paying $50K to figure it out. So it doesn't hurt. Having your feelings manipulated by a salesperson that does not have your best interest at heart, I'm going to tell you this. Sales is about manipulation. Now, manipulation, the word itself is not inherently good or bad. It is a way to influence what someone is doing. Now, you can do that from a good position, or you can do that from a bad position as well. And I think one of the, and I'll go through this in the next video as well, but I think one of the major pieces of being a salesperson, there's certain stages that we take people through to close the sale. And there's this part that's called discovery. And this is where a lot of the manipulation happens. The discovery portion is meant to discover things about you that you may not want to right away reveal. Like, how much money do you make? Most people don't want to reveal that because they're coming from a place of they need help and they're not making enough money. So they'll give, normally we'll give answers that are vague. They also want to know what your pain is. Now, just think about that for a minute. A salesperson wants to know what your pain is. Now, they're not going to ask you that outright. They may ask you something along the lines of, what is the thing that you're really struggling with right now that you actually want fixed? Like, what is that thing? They want to dig into the pain. Why do they want to dig into the pain? They want to dig into the pain because that's the solution that they're going to provide for you. Right? If they dig into that pain of what it is that you're needing help with, they want to uncover that pain, have you verbalize that pain so that they can use that to show you how they can help you get rid of that pain. Now, when you think about the word that I used before, sales is a manipulation. It's always a manipulation. Now, imagine it in the hands of someone that does not care about you, that does not care if you win or lose, but is just solely looking to make a sale, right? I'm going to reveal, even in my next training, some very poignant points about salespeople and how they operate. Because it's probably not what you think it is. But when you're being manipulated through, okay, now we understand that salesperson understands your pain, right? Now they also want to make it so poignant that you might even be at the point of tears. But now they want to bring you out of the valley and they want to bring you up. Because they've brought your emotions down, now they have to bring your emotions back up. Dude, I'm the solution. I can help you through this. And by that point, if you are somewhat bonded to that salesperson and you are trusting that salesperson at that time, you're already sold that they have the solution for you. Now, I'm going to break down each of these points and how they do this to you. So it's one thing to be manipulated by someone that doesn't care. But let me just give you this caveat. There are coaches, programs, and courses that actually do care. Don't think that this is everything and everyone. But I want you to stop being scammed by it. And I want you to understand how your emotions are being manipulated to the point where you're trusting of this salesperson. And you may even be having multiple calls. But now that they've gone through your pain, they've kind of like told you, look, and they will tell you, dude, if you don't change this, this whole thing is going to fail. Like that's literally, and if you recall some of the sales calls you've been on, you've heard and you've seen these tactics. Some of you may even be using these tactics. Hopefully you're using them for good, right? So then once you've done that, now you're being future paced at this point. Hey, what is your life going to look like? Like when you get all of this stuff fixed? I mean, I know you're completely frustrated right now, but how do you see yourself feeling when all of this is fixed? Now they're future pacing you. Now you're selling yourself on their program. Because now all they have to do, if they're masterful at it, is tie all of this together and ask you one simple question. So where do you want to go from here? That's it. You may ask something like, okay, well, I don't know how much it is yet, the price yet, but they've been asking you questions all along, gauging you. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel this will work for you? On a scale of 1 to 10, how does this actually make you feel in regards to this being a solution to your problem? On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you feel about being a part of this? And they're gauging you all the way through. Now, the only thing that's left on the table is to throw the price at you. And now, when the price is thrown at you, you've already said all of the things that they need you to say to actually, if you have the money, whether it's 5K, whether it's 50K, if you have the money, you're buying. If you've been with someone that understands these concepts and how to do these things. It is a very interesting thing to me, human psychology, and how we all work and how we all think. And this is really what I want to start breaking down in my next training with you as well, is because now that you understand that there is a process, it's not just happenstance or happenstance, what's the word? Whichever one it is, right? You are being taken through a process, and in the hands of the wrong person, you will gain nothing and simply lose your money. That's it. You will gain nothing because you've been manipulated into believing something because you've been on an emotional roller coaster throughout the sales call. And here's another thing, and I'm going to tell you this, stop booking calls with people that you know nothing about. I want you to make a promise to me. Okay, I want you to promise right now, because if you're one of those serial appointment setters, right, that I just want to get more information, I just want to get more information. Stop booking appointments with people that you have not vetted and researched. You can vet and research anyone online in regards to what they've done before. Even there's websites and things like that I'm going to go into in the next video that are going to show you how to flesh out all of these things and only book appointments with people that you have done a certain amount of vetting on. Because if you're booking appointment after appointment after appointment with people that you hope can solve your problem, but you don't know if they can solve your problem because you haven't vetted them, you're wasting your time. And this is why all you're saying on these sales calls, either you don't have the money or you don't trust the person or the process, which I can completely understand. And so you say something like, well, I need to think about it. Please stop doing the I need to think about it. Because if you've done your appropriate due diligence, there's nothing to think about. They either are the person for you or they're not. Now, what we want to actually do here is figure all of this stuff out. Like, if you need a coach, okay, you got to vet them. And if you're just hopping on sales calls all the time, you're going to get manipulated into signing up for something, and potentially something not only that won't work for you, but is going to leave you broke because you believe the hype around all of that. There are actually some legitimate things that you can do to grow your business. And on this channel, we're going to continue to talk about those things like podcasting, like creating videos, content creation, because in today's age, this is how you build an audience. And you're going to hear me say this over and over again because it is true. If you don't have an audience, you don't have a business. I'll see you on the next video.